Um, if you see me looking up and down, that's because I'm live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. I wanted to talk today about publishing. A lot of people, well, I'm not going to say a lot of people. So, first, let me introduce myself because some people may not even know who I am. My name is Patricia Goins, and I'm an author, a filmmaker, and a radio host slash podcast. I'm a host. I have a podcast called On the Move Unscripted, and it started in Atlanta on 1100 a.m. And I just turned it into a podcast. So we do a lot of interviewing of different authors and artists and business owners and just anybody who has a creative product that they want to share. So we do a lot of advertising um, and that nature. And then for most of you know, I'm a filmmaker. So I turned this book, which is my very first novel, I turned it into a film, which let me make sure that I'm giving a good view to both YouTube and Facebook at the same time. But I turned it into a novel, and you can actually view it on YouTube. It's called This Can't Be Love. So most people know that I'm an author and a filmmaker and a podcast host. But what most people don't know or may not know, which I'm trying to get out there, is that I've also started getting into uh, printing and promoting books and authors and things of that nature. And I do that because I am an author. So I wrote, I think this was, no, I think I did a poetry book first, and then this was like the second book that I wrote. And that was back in 2003. I wrote this in 2003. And then I followed it up with the next sequel in the story, which is called The Love House. So for those of you who you have seen the movie or you've already read the first book, either you've read the book or you've seen the movie, this is the continuation of it. And so these characters that you see, this is the Love House. If you remember in the movie, the Love House, that's the Love House. And these are four women who are actually staying in the Love House. And so you'll get to see, their dynamics because they each have their own individual story of what happened and why they're there. And the major challenge for them is to learn how to become a survivor of domestic violence and learn to live together under the same roof. Because it ain't easy for women to live together. It's just really not. So this is a story within itself. And then the third book that I published is called Ladies Delight. And this is actually the third book in the sequel. So the book is actually a three-part series. So it starts here, right? It starts with Karen, and then it goes on to the Love House. And then in Ladies Delight, Karen's daughter forms a group with one of the ladies in the Love House. And this is their story and what they go through in the industry. So not only that, but I published some other books. Another one is Are You Ready to Open Your Gifts from God? Just an inspirational book for anyone who you need that inspiration. But the one challenge that I noticed, because I published through a lot of different companies, in the beginning, and the one thing that I noticed is that they all wanted to charge a lot of money. Like you couldn't even get it started without paying, you know, six, seven, eight, $900, $1,000 to even get it put into, a print file. And then once they published your book, you were only getting like 10, 15, maybe 20% royalties from your books. And I'm just like, that's so unfair to me. Like you, you I did all the labor. I did all the writing, all the kind of stuff. So why is it that y'all get? I've already paid you. I've already paid you to publish the book. So why do I have to pay a percentage of my royalties too? You know what I'm saying? So I got to pay you twice. And that's what a lot of the different publishers are doing. They're charging you to publish some of them, and then they're also taking some of your royalties. And then they're pricing the book so high, you know what I'm saying, that it's like you can't even recoup any money really. I mean, if you have a book that has, um, uh, 100 pages. There's no reason why that book should cost you $12, you know, and then you're only getting 10% of that. Like, I noticed a lot of that in the industry, as far as printing. And then and I noticed a lot of authors, they were getting discouraged. And so I wanted to be able to provide a couple of things. I wanted to be able to not only assist the writers with the whole writing journey, because some people, um, they know what they want to write, but they just can't figure out how to formulate it into that pattern so they can get the story out. So I definitely enjoy giving advice and things of that nature to authors who are in that phase. Um, but I really, really like to get them when they're at the point where they have finished their book, right? They finished it, they've done the copyright for it, they have their cover art ready, they have their book in the PDF form, and they're ready to move to the next level. That's when I really like to work with them. Because I have a business now where I actually am able to print like these books. I printed all of my own books. If you see this, all these books I printed, um, all of them, and you see the quality. The latest one that I actually was the publisher for, and this is for Maxine Williams Wright, which she had the book Testimonies, God's Unfolding Miracles. And so I actually was her printer for this book. And as you see, she did an excellent job with her book. And I'm actually one of the authors. I'm one of those in the teardrop. And so I printed her book for her. All she had to do was give me the print files, and I let her know what she needed to have done, and I printed the book for her, as I've done for my own. The goal is, I like to make sure that the book is, the printing costs is low enough where you can make a profit. There's nothing worse than to spend all that time writing a book, and then the publishing company, right? The publishing company takes, so much of your freaking earnings. Or they tell you, well, in order to get a discount, you have to print 100 books. You know what I'm saying? And everyone's finances is not like that where they can purchase 100 books right off the bat to get some kind of discount. So the goal of ATW Media and Printing is to not only print your books, right? And not only to print them, but also to give you an avenue for promoting them. So that's something that the companies are not really offering. Or if they are offering it, it's an additional price. I don't, as an author, I just want someone who is going to be honest, and who's going to understand my journey, and who's going to understand the pitfalls that I may come through, and who's not going to charge me a whole bunch of extra money to do it. So what I do for my customers, because I am new. ATW Media and Printing has only been around for a year, but what I do is, for every author who um, who prints at least 30 books with my company, I give you a free um, interview on the Move Unscripted, which on the Move Unscripted is a podcast, like I said, and it's on iHeartRadio, it's on Spotify, it's on Spreaker.com, Blog Talk Radio. I'm trying to think all the other places. Like, it's rebroadcasted. So when we do an author interview, our goal is to connect. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going through that phase of my life. Y'all know I'm unscripted. I'm unscripted in every way. So anyway, um, the goal is to connect the author, right, with the book. Because sometimes you'll have seen a book before, but you didn't know who wrote it, or you know that person, but you didn't know they was an author, or there's something special about being able to connect what's going on in the world with the book and the author. So we have really good conversations, and a lot of the authors have gotten a lot of great success. Like I said, we don't do just authors; we do artists, we do just about anybody in the industry, actors, filmmakers, anybody who wants to talk. And generally there is a small fee that we charge for the marketing and all that stuff that we do for On the Move Unscripted. But when you come through our lane and you have your books printed through us, that's one of the pluses that we give just automatically. Like you'll automatically be um, once you become a published a print once you go through our company ATW Media and Printing, you'll automatically be set up with an interview on the Move Unscripted. And so that's a way to advertise. And then we do some light social media marketing as well. So we also make flyers. So if you're someone who you want a personal flyer, like, you know, like that, or you want something for social media marketing, we assist with that too. And we'll also share it with, the different groups and things of that nature that I'm in. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going through I was trying my best not to go through one of my little heat flashes, but I see that's not going to work because Mother Nature don't give a damn about what I'm trying to do. But I have been in the industry for a long time. And so I have experienced a lot of pitfalls. I've gone through a lot of the mistakes, so I can actually give you advice before you even make those mistakes. I can let you know, okay, well, you want to do this or you don't want to do that, or try this lane or that lane. But in order to come down my lane, you have to have print ready files, which means that your all your copyright type stuff, I mean, your barcode and everything that needs to be on the back of your cover, like here, example. If you see this book, there is the copyright, I mean, not the copyright, but the barcode and everything is on there. Everything needs to be however you want your book to look. That's the print file that I need in PDF form, right? And then the interior is a whole different thing. However you want your book to look, um, it has to be in that format, and the font has to be embedded. And that's something that you might want to hire someone to actually do that for you, and I may be able even to have some referrals for you. Um, but it's cheaper to hire someone to get your book print file ready than it is to go through these printing companies, these self-publishing companies, who I just feel like they just they do the authors wrong. Like, the industry is known for raping the artists, or. But I feel like that has also trickled into the publishing arena. I feel like the authors are getting raped for their royalties. They're not getting what they deserve. They're not getting paid fairly. Um, I looked up my book. This Can't Be Love Now. I took my book from one of these companies that I had it printed with. I took it from them. I told them, take it down. I will do my own. And so they took it down. However, Amazon has that same book now, mind you. Because another thing is, when you go through these self-publishing companies and they create your cover, they own that cover. People don't always tell you that, but they own these covers. So if you, for whatever reason, decided you no longer want to be with that self-publishing company, you can take your book back, but you can't take the cover because they create the cover. Amazon, Author House does it. A lot of the different ones, they do it. They don't tell you that. They own that cover. That's not your cover. So it's better to do as much as you can if you feel comfortable. Do as much as you can independently. Even if you have to go to Fiverr and hire someone, or go somewhere, one of these little things, and hire someone to put your books in print file ready form. And like I said, I may even be able to assist you with some referrals for that. I don't do that part, but I can assist you with referrals or help you find reputable people who can do that for you. But once you get your book in print file ready, then that print file ready form, then that's when I can assist you. And like, for instance, you can get a book this thick, and what I might only charge you, I don't know, maybe 650, or to print it. So if you want to charge, $15 for your book, you're actually making a profit. Unlike when you go through the printing companies and you have to pay them 800, 900, $1,000 to get it print ready and all that kind of stuff, and put it, all over the web and all that they do. And then you also only get 10 to 20% of the royalties for every book sold. So if your book, say for this book right here, this book has how many pages is it? It's 200 and it's 297 pages in the Love House, right? So a fair market price for a book with 297 pages, I would say, would be 14.99, 13.99, somewhere around in that range. But you'll get these book publishing companies that will charge $20 for your book, and you only get 10% of it. But it doesn't cost them that much to print it. So why are they taking all of your money? Why are they taking all our money? So my goal is to assist the authors, the self-published authors. Uh, Another thing that's really important is making sure that you proofreading. Proofreading is so, oh my gosh. If I can only tell you how important it is, and I still go through like having to make sure I double check. I'll put something, post something. I'm like, oh snap, I missed that H or whatever, and you have to go back. So it's good to have fresh eyes to actually proofread your work. The worst thing to do is to get a book that has an absolutely beautiful cover, absolutely beautiful cover. And it's so attractive, But then when the reader starts reading it, they can't get past, every all the errors. They can't get into the story because they're proofreading your book while they're reading, and then they end up putting it down and they never make it past, the first chapter. So proofreading is important, and these are things that I like to go work with the authors on, and even give referrals for people that can, proofread or whatever. Being a self-published author is a business, so you're going to have to invest. But the question is, where do you want to invest, and what type of return do you want? I also think that getting to the point where we start to having our own author websites and actually selling your books. I've actually started working on my. I had a author website for my books, and I have to do some reconstruction. But you can actually go to it. It's patriciagoinsbooks.com. That's Patricia Goins Goins books books.com, and you'll see where I'm starting to work on my own author website and being able to sell my books, autograph books from my own website. Like, we need to take more control of our books back. That's what I'm really trying to say. Um, and I'm one of those authors who has decided that I want to do that. I want to do it for myself, and I want to help other authors do it. And so I found that being able to offer them a cheaper price for their books, and of course, the more books that you print, the cheaper that your price gets, without a doubt. And so I just I want to be able to offer that. Um, and so that's something that during the whole pandemic and that was going on, I was investing in that business. So I'm sorry, hold on one second, because that's my son. I was trying to get his done before he got back. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm sorry. So I'm back. So, like I was saying, I can print your books for you, and I can make it at a price that's affordable, where you can actually make a profit. And not only that, but when now that things are starting to open up in different cities and states, you're going to want to start, doing book signings. And so you're going to want copies. And you don't want to have to give your print company all this money to print books, and then you got to raise your price super high, to be able to sell the book. And then so that means you have to pass that on to the customer, you know what I'm saying, in order to make money. And then if you have a customer, some customers will invest. They want to invest in a self-published author. Then you got some penny pinching people who they're like, I don't want to pay $20 or $25. It just depends on the value of the book. Some books are $20 and they're worth every penny. But some, books are not. I mean, in my opinion, depending on the page count and the content and what it's about. It just really depends on what you value. So, because I don't want to knock anybody who they want to have books at $20. That's awesome if that's where you feel like your book is worth. I don't want to knock that, but I'm just saying, whatever you price your book at, you don't want to have to give half of that or 80% of that to the book publisher because they're only giving you 20% of the royalties. That's what I'm talking about. Taking back control of our work. We work too hard, even as singers. Everybody has heard about how the artists have been getting raped in the industry. They going out and touring and doing all this stuff, and they don't make no money. You know what I'm saying? Um, they, you know, I think TLC was one that came out and was like, listen here, let me tell you how you can become, sell all these multi-platinum records and still have to file bankruptcy. Like, more and more people are starting to talk about how the industry is doing them. So the same with the authors. I really feel like they are mistreating the authors, and I feel like they're not giving us what we're supposed to have. They're just not. I feel like with some, they're selling books that we don't even receive any royalties for. We don't even know that they're selling because, mind you, when you put something on the internet, it's worldwide. It's worldwide, so you don't know who's doing what, and you just have to kind of trust that you're getting what you're supposed to be getting. But I don't always believe that's the case, but that's just my opinion. But I just wanted to be able to offer authors another avenue. I wanted to provide social media marketing, some light social media marketing, let me just say, unless you want to purchase a package or something like that where it's continual, but light social media marketing, along with an interview on the Move Unscripted, and also the printing of your books at a price that allows you to price it at an affordable or wherever you want and be able to actually get the money back. You don't want to have to, you know, get a book this size and charge, something that you don't really want to charge $20 for it, and then that only has, you know, less than 100 pages in it, and just to be able to make some money. Like you want to make you want to price your book at a competitive price to match other books that are out in the market. Not so low that you're not making a profit, but you don't want to overprice your work either because people are not going to buy it. Maybe your friends and family will, but not always people who, you know, don't know you or whatever. Now, there are some books that are an exception to the rule. So a lot of spiritual books, a lot of self-help books, a lot of nonfiction or inspirational books. You're going to find them at higher prices because the knowledge that they have to give to you is worth that. Probably worth more than that. Um, I know that testimonies. I do believe that the price for testimonies is $20. However, this is a book that is filled with testimonies and life-changing experiences that's going to bless the reader. And we've already had testimonies of people who have read these different testimonies and have started putting them into their own life. And not only that, but recognizing the blessings that they ignore on a daily basis. So there are some books that definitely they're worth 20, $30. But the thing is, you don't want to have to sell your book at $20 and then the publisher takes freaking 18.50. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, whatever their percentage thing is. And you had to pay them $1,000 to even print it. You know what I'm saying? You had to pay them $1,000 to get it print ready and listed, and then they still get royalties from every book you sell. What is that? I don't charge any type of royalties, nothing like that. Um, I just want to help authors because I'm an author. You know, in the medical field, I always felt like the best doctors were once nurses, and the best aides, home health aides, were once, the best nurses were once home health aides. Like I always feel like when you actually have been there, when you've done the work, when you've had to do it yourself, you can understand the needs better than someone who just decided, hey, I want to sell books, or hey, I want to publish other authors and make some money. But if you're someone who has invested the time and you've gone through the hours that it takes to and the dedication it takes to write a book, because writing a book takes time, it takes dedication, it takes perseverance. I mean, um, you have to sit there and you have to, first of all, decide what you want to write, how you want to write it, and then you have to write it in a way that people are going to want to read it, or even that you're going to want to read it. So it takes time. You don't want to put all that time and investment into writing a book just to give it away to a corporation who don't even know you, don't care about you, and they ain't trying to promote your work, unless you pay them another $1,000, and they're not trying to um, do anything to really help you unless you pay them this much and that much. Whereas with ATW Media and Printing, when you come down our lane, we give you extra bonuses just because you said, let me give them a try. Let me try them out. So I'm actually going to be at a book signing with some of the authors from testimonies. Are you ready to open your gifts from God? I was able to set up a book signing, and so we'll be at the Nubian Bookstore in Morrow, Georgia, on May 8th from 12 to 4, and the address is 1540 South Lake Parkway, Suite 7A, Morrow, Georgia. That's Nubian Bookstore. So um, we'll be down there, and I'll have some of my books definitely. Um, for those of you who have uh, watch the movie, there's no way in the world I could get all this into an hour and a half movie. So if you want to go deeper and understand more about the story line and about Karen and what she went through, and how she was able to change from being, a victim to discovering the superwoman within her. Because when I did that song, it was for her, because she had to go through a lot. A lot of women have had to go through a lot. They've had to overcome a lot. And when you overcome that, that makes you a superwoman as far as I'm concerned. And not only that, but if you're just a mother, a wife, a business owner, all that kind of stuff, that's superwoman type stuff, because you're juggling a whole bunch of stuff at once. But definitely if you're in an abusive relationship, or you dealing with some stuff from childhood or whatever the situation is, and you overcome that, that makes you a superwoman. And same for a man. If you're a man and you've gone through a lot and you come through that, that makes you a superman. Especially if you have jumped over those hurdles and still are doing, things that's going to be a blessing to humanity. So I really try to work with the authors. I really try to do my best to promote them in every way I can. And at this point right now, I'm not charging anything extra. And I don't know if I will, because it's nothing. I like being on the radio. I like talking smack. I enjoy it. So I enjoy when I have people to interview, and I enjoy promoting authors, and I enjoy giving them advice and suggestions, and helping them in any way I can, because I'm an author. I am an author. That's the main. If you don't remember nothing else, remember that I am an author too. So everything that you're going through, if you've already started writing the book, or everything that you're going to go through, if you haven't started the process yet, I've already been there. I've been there. I want to say about 7 or 8 times, because I think I have a total of like 7 books that I have written. So I wanted to do this basically to um, start getting the word out about ATW Media and Printing. And we do other things too. We do T-shirts, we do business cards, we do a lot of different things. And I try to do a little something extra for people who come down my lane. The website, I will give out, the website is atwmprinting.com, but we're still working out the kinks and stuff. So that's why I haven't really been promoting it, but you can go on there and you can actually see um, um, where I'm at right now with it. It's atwmprinting.com. Um, and then if you want to call me, because I'd rather you call anyway. I like working one-on-one um, with authors and customers, period. I like that one-on-one. I like to understand where their mind is as far as their projects, and to see how I can assist, and what areas they might need help in. So you can call me at 1-800-484-5956. That's 1-800-484-5956. I would definitely love to work with you. It doesn't matter where in the writing process you are. If you're not at the point where you're ready for, to print yet, but you're just trying to understand um, how to write, I can give you a consultation on that. I don't have a problem. Um, yeah, I just want to. I mean, it's my business, so I'm not trying to tell you that everything's free. It's not. This is the business. However, my goal is not to rape the artist, or authors, or anyone for that matter. My goal is to assist you and to help you, so that you can see your dream fulfilled. And you don't get frustrated by the fact that you got all this books and stuff out there, and you're not making any money. So I definitely would like to assist you with your process. Um, so you could definitely go to blogtalkradio.com/Patricia Goins, and you can see some of the different interviews, or you can go to iHeartRadio and look us up on the Move Unscripted. Um, yeah, so we're just, Spotify, let me see, Spreaker.com, Blog Talk Radio, iHeart. It's just so many. And then we do our YouTube, of course, and then Facebook marketing. So we get the work when a guest comes on our show, which we actually have a show tonight. And I don't think we have a guest tonight, so me and Mr. Stout are just gonna have fun. That's what we do. But uh, when we do have a guest, we just like to have fun with them. Like next week, we do have a guest. We have Stan Edward Moore, who used to be with the Daz Band, and David Tolliver, who used to be with Men at Large. They just released they just released a new song, some new music. They collabing together. And I swear these two are powerhouses. I think they're both from Ohio, but I think that David lives in Atlanta, and and Stan is still in Cleveland. However, them two together, oh my gosh! If you remember Men at Large and you remember the Daz Band, and Stan was like a later member for the Daz Band, but his voice is powerful. So that's going to be a great show. That'll be next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But you'll be able to see what we've done. Authors, I've interviewed Zane. If you know who Zane is, the best-selling author Zane, I've interviewed her more than once. Um, but I've done a lot of self-published authors. I love promoting people. I love helping people realize their dreams. So I don't want to keep going on and on and on about this. Just reach out to me and let's talk. Let me help you. Let me assist you. Let me help you avoid some of the pitfalls that I've gone through. And, I'm really one-on-one with whoever I work with. Maxine Williams Wright, who is like I said, one of my customers, she can definitely give you a reference, or she can give you her testimony of what it's like to work with me. She's already been on the Move Unscripted, and if I'm not mistaken, she's already sold. I think her book. When did her book come out? I want to say her book came out. When did we release this? Was it in January or February? But she already sold 200 copies. So we've done some, but she was awesome with it too, because she did a book video. There's so many different ways that you can promote your book. So she did a book video. I did some social media promotion for her. She was on our radio show. She's about to do a book signing or whatever, but she's already sold 200 copies already. 200. So that's awesome and amazing. And so she can let you know what her experience has been like coming down my lane, ATW, media and printing. So give me a call, 1-800-484-5956. Even if you just want to ask me a question. I don't have a problem with asking you a question. If you want like some serious, okay, I need you to help me type stuff, then I might, I might have to charge a little consultation fee. It's a business. But if you just want to ask me a question, or you just want to see, okay, throw some thoughts my way or whatever, or even if you want to ask me questions about, how do you turn your book into a movie. If you're someone who you want some assistance in that area, that's also an area that I can assist you with. I can let you know the pointers. I might have, depending on how much help you need, will depend on whether or not I charge you anything. If it's like I want you to help me do this movie, then I might have to charge you, a fee or whatever. But if you just want to ask a quick question, I don't have a problem with helping people. Like that's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're supposed to do. Just as long as you understand that this is my business. And just like you don't want to be writing books and doing all that kind of stuff and not getting paid for anything, I don't want to have a business where, I'm giving out all my knowledge and I'm not getting anything in return. So, of course, it is a business, but I'm fair, I'm honest, and I love helping people. I just do. That's just who I am. So, 1-800-484-5956. 1-800-484-5956. It actually took a long time for me to finish the movie For This Can't Be Love. I had to go through some life classes. I like to call it. I had to go through life classes. And so it was a journey, but I'm so glad that I completed it. I'm so glad I finished it. And I think for every one of my books, I thank God that I finished the journey. I finished what I started. So for all of you who you're talking about, I got a book in me. I got a book in me. Okay, you got a book in you. So what's next? What you gonna do? Are you ready to start writing it down? Even if you're someone, well, I don't like writing. Okay, well, they got video recorders, they got audio dictators, they got all kind of ways for you to get that out of your head and onto paper or onto the computer or however you want, however you do um, your outline or for your book. But go ahead and do it. And if you started it, man, and don't it really gets to me when I hear people say, "Yeah, I've been working on a book for 10 years." Okay, so you need to be keeping on with the process so you can get it done. Some people they'll write for a little bit, then they won't go back to it, or they just let it go. But there is such a thrill at completing what you start. I learned that with the making This Can't Be Love, and with the books, and even now with the printing company and everything. I'm just learning patience, patience and perseverance. Patience, faith, and perseverance. If you can understand that formula, you can make it through and you can finish it. And then you'll be so proud because you know what? So many of you have gifts. So many of you, are you ready to open your gifts from God? Because every one of us are born with gifts and talents and things that we were meant to share with humanity. So, stop being selfish and complete what you start, or stop being selfish and share your knowledge. Why not? Even if you don't want to do nothing but give it to your family, or if you want to give it to your kids or whatever, still write the vision, make it plain, do what you got to do, because God has given you a testimony. He's giving you testimony. He's giving you testimonies to share with other generations. This work will be there long after you're gone, right? So once again, 1-800-484-5956. Um, I'm here to help you in whatever way, whether it's flyers or T-shirts, or face mask, or I got so many different ways that I can assist you um, in your journey. And if you're an artist, same with you. Um, I'm here to assist you. So definitely, I hope to see some of you, at the Nubian Bookstore May 8th. And once again, the address is 1540 South Lake Parkway, Suite 7A in Morrow, Georgia, 30260. You can also call in because tonight we're live on the Move Unscripted. So we're on the Move Unscripted, comes on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And so you can get to it live by blogtalkradio.com/Patricia Goins. So you can actually call in. And the call in number is 516-387-1247. So, yeah. I just want to share that with you. I really want to start getting the word out more about ATW media and printing. And so, and my desire to help the authors, because I know what you're going through. And I know that writing a book can be scary too. because you're just like, oh my gosh, I want to write a book, but what do I do? Or I've written it, so what's next? So my goal is to help you through that process and let you know, okay, these are the steps. I just feel like we as authors, we need to take back control of our work, because just like the music industry has experienced the complaints of the artists getting raped for royalties and money or whatever, I feel it's the same way in the publishing industry. They have there's more self-published authors than there are, you know, uh, um, brick and mortar mainstream art authors, and so they found a way to benefit, and that's fine and dandy. But don't take all our money. Don't be selling our books in bookstores and stuff and not letting us know. Like, these are the issues that self-published authors are going through right now, and I'm someone who has gone through it. I'll never forget. I'm gonna end it on this. I'll never forget. I had someone reached out to me on Facebook. This was like some years ago. And they was just like, "Oh, I loved your book." I think it was Essence, the Poetry of Life, which is not available out anywhere right now because I took it back from them and I haven't re-released it. But it was Essence, the Poetry of Life. It was actually my very first book. That was first. Essence, the Poetry of Life was first. And then came This Can't Be Love. So originally, there was a different cover for this, but the publisher, the self-published publisher, because I published it with them, they own the cover, so I couldn't republish it with the same cover. That's how they do. So anyway, the young lady reached out to me, and she was like, "I loved your book," and I was just like, "Oh, okay." And I was trying to remember, like, where did I meet her? I said, "Well, how did you get it? Did I give you a autograph copy? Like, how'd you get the book?" She was like, "Oh, I bought it from the Barnes and Noble in Midtown." Okay, so I go back to look through my royalty statements, and there's no royalty payment for any book during that time frame or the 3 months prior, because it tells you where the person bought the book. It doesn't tell you who the person was, but it tells you where the book was bought. So there was no retail royalties in that time span. And so when I called them, like, y'all are selling my books in the stores and you're not, and I'm not getting paid for it. That's what they're doing. We self-published authors got to stick together. That's what it is. So anyway, once again, 1-800-484-5956. I would definitely like to assist you with your book printing, marketing, and social media needs. So it's Patricia M. Goins. Definitely check out my movie This Can't Be Love on and my on YouTube. My YouTube now name is MS Goins 1119. Miss Goins 1119, I do believe. And you can see some of the different you can see that movie, some of the music I put out. Right now, you can go to www.n1m, and that one is the number, n1m.com/Patricia M. Goins, and you can actually see my books and movies and the other books that I don't have with me right in front of me. But I've been in this industry for probably like 10, 11, 12 years now. So I definitely have a lot of knowledge, and I would love to share it with you. All right, then. Have a good day. All right. So I just ended that